Hello and welcome to Preparing for Parenthood's online resource video 5, where we will be covering the administrative side of pregnancy. Soon you will be planning for your maternity leave. You'll need to apply for your leave through the government's website. First, you'll go to the official website for the Government of Canada, click on Employment Insurances and Leave, click on Maternity and Parental Benefits, and then it will walk you through the steps to apply. What these benefits offer is paternity leave provides financial assistance to pregnant women or women who have recently given birth and parents away from work due to care of an infant or a newly adopted child. The payments are 55% of your income, up to a maximum of $638 a week before taxes. There are calculations and information to show you how much you are eligible for on the website. Parental benefits have two options: a standard, which is up to 40 weeks, or an extended, which is up to 69 weeks. Your choice determines the number of weeks and the weekly amount received. The total amount paid to you will stay the same whether you choose 12 or 18 months. Once the choice is made, you cannot change options. If you choose the 18 months and go back to work early, that money yet to be paid to you disappears, and you start with a standard leave. And if you start with a standard leave and change to an extended part way, the payments remain the same and will stop at the 40-week mark. You can change your time off with your work, switch from a 12-month to an 18, or the reverse. There will be no money from the government for the last 6 months of your leave if you extend, and if you shorten, payments will stop as soon as you return to work early. To qualify, you need 600 hours of work in the last 42 weeks. Your leave will be broken up into maternity and paternity. Maternity leave is the first 15 weeks and can only be taken by mama. It's the time needed to recover from pregnancy and birth. Paternity is the remainder of the leave and can be split between both parents. You can both be off together or one after the other. Time off can be split to have time off at the beginning or for supporting mother's healing, and later on closer to the end when baby is more active and able to play. To be eligible for the maximum weeks of leave, there are a maximum number of weeks that must be shared with a partner: 5 weeks of a 40-week standard leave and 8 weeks of a 69-week extended leave. If the partner does not take them, they disappear and cannot be transferred to the birthing parent. It can be very helpful to have both parents at home together at the beginning while mom recovers and everyone adjusts to life with a newborn. When sharing the leave, each partner must submit their own application and both must choose the same option of time, standard or extended. Apply as soon as possible after you stop working and submit the baby's due date if they are not born yet, and give Service Ontario a call to correct it as soon as you can if baby is born on a different date. This money is taxed at the minimum, so if you think you may owe more, try to put aside a bit more for tax time. Keep in mind you are likely to have both full working paychecks and paternity payments in the same tax year.
Heading back to work. But you've not had your baby yet. Why are we talking about this already? We understand this is so very far from where you are right now, but there are some important things to mention and consider regarding your return to work after maternity leave ends that can be helpful to be thinking about in advance. There are three different types of childcare to consider when making the decision of where to send your child when you return to work: center-based childcare, licensed home childcare, and unlicensed home childcare. Center-based childcare. Centers are all licensed under the Childcare and Early Years Act, which sets standards for staff qualifications, safety, fire, health, nutrition, behavior management, number of children per square meter, staff to child ratios, age-appropriate programming, and equipment requirements. Your child is cared for in a setting with multiple caregivers and children. Your child will be grouped by age and spend the day with the same children and staff. Centers will range in size and capacity. Ratios change based on age. Your child will graduate up and move to a new group or room when they age out of each group range. Fees for infant care are the highest, then will decrease as your child moves through the groups. Ontario ratios are: infants 0 to 18 months have 3 staff to 10 infants with a maximum group size of 10. Toddlers 18 to 30 months have 1 staff to 5 toddlers with a maximum group size of 15. Preschoolers, 30 months and up, have 1 staff to 8 preschoolers with a maximum group size of 16. Families who qualify are able to use subsidy to help pay for fees at childcare centers. You pay a set fee every month regardless of how much you are away or sick. Childcare centers may be a part of the Canada-wide Early Learning and Childcare Agreement, working towards an end goal of $10 a day fee rates. The wait lists can be very long, and it's best to start looking for a center that fits your family 6 months to a year ahead of time, sometimes more. Spaces for child under 18 months can be the hardest to find. Licensed home childcare. There are 3 licensing agencies in our area: Family Space, Little Lambs, and We Watch. Parents are able to access subsidy for licensed home childcare. Each caregiver is employed by and contracted by a licensing agency that has home childcare visitors that visit regularly and inspect the providers. The agency does all of the screenings, police checks, fire, health and safety, immunization of staff, and sets the fees. They find the caregivers who meet your needs. Example, what days and hours you need. They make it easier for you, and you can pay through direct deposit to the agency. Your child will be cared for in a small group with 1 consistent caregiver. Providers can only care for a maximum of 6 children, including their own, with no more than 3 children under 2 years old. Your child will be in a mixed age group and cared for in someone's home. Fees remain the same regardless of your child's age, and often you are only required to pay for the days that you use. Licensed home childcares may be a part of the Canada-Ontario, Canada-wide Early Learning and Childcare Agreement, working towards an end goal of $10 a day fee rates. Availability for spaces can range depending on what area of town you're needing, but looking for a spot at least 3 months ahead of time is usually recommended. Family Space does not carry a wait list. Unlicensed childcare. Your child is cared for in someone's home by 1 caregiver in a small, multi-aged group. It is a private arrangement made between the parents and a caregiver. They are required to identify themselves as unlicensed in writing to parents. The provider can only care for a maximum of 5 children, including their own, with no more than 3 under 2 years. Unlicensed childcare is not inspected by the government unless there has been a complaint, and you cannot get subsidy for unlicensed home childcare. Unlicensed care is not a part of the Canada-Ontario, Canada-wide Early Learning and Childcare Agreement, working towards an end goal of $10 a day fee rates. In your resource package, we've provided a list of local daycare centers for infant care with contact information and a list of questions to ask childcare staff that you can consider. Subsidy. Childcare fee subsidy is a government program intended to help families with the cost of their childcare expenses. It supports eligible families by paying a portion or up to 100% of their total licensed childcare fee costs. Subsidy eligibility is decided based on the household income, hours that both parents or the single parent spend at work, in training, education, or engaged in other approved activities, and therefore not available to care for children. A family may qualify if a child has special needs or social needs, or if a parent is unable to care for their child. To apply for subsidy, choose a childcare program you'd like your child to attend and confirm that there's a space available for your child or children. Once the space is confirmed, contact Hastings County Intake Access Center to schedule an appointment to complete the application process. Parents are able to access subsidy for licensed home childcare and childcare centers only. Unlicensed home childcare does not qualify. There's a subsidy calculator on the Hastings County website to find out how much coverage you may be eligible for.
There's one more childcare option you may not have been aware of: becoming a licensed home childcare provider. You could be taking care of your own child in your own home with taking in extra kids. As a provider registered with Family Space licensed home childcare program, you will be able to stay home, spending more time with your own children. Choose your own hours that fit your family's schedule. You'll receive support from resource consultants who understand licensed home childcare. You'll be self-employed. You maintain independence and have the freedom to run your business. You are guaranteed compensation for the days you provide care. Collecting parent fees is done by your agency. You'll enjoy self-employed business expense deductions from your income tax, support through monthly visits and quarterly safety checks, one-on-one assistance and support for dealing with difficult situations, access to grant programs to cover 100% of the costs of going back to school and acquiring an early childhood education diploma, increased earning potential with being able to have 6 children, support from a network of providers who meet regularly, professional development opportunities, and have access to free PPE, cleaning supplies, and enhanced health and safety protocols. If you're interested in becoming a caregiver, contact a licensed home childcare operator such as Family Space, We Watch, and Little Lambs. You will find more information about this in your resource package. Thank you, and we hope you found this information helpful.